So we are here at another day. First day of the weekend. I hope everybody has got some nice, enjoyable things to do on the weekend. Let's just check and see the chasing group. Oh gosh, nothing is jumping out as interesting news really there. So what shall we do here for? Hi Mario, there we are. Yes. I hope you've got something nice planned for the weekend, or maybe you just will be relaxing. I don't think we will be doing anything different. We'll take ourselves off to lunch later, and I'm just having a look if I will turn this around a bit. Okay. Have I really? Good Lord, no, I didn't know that. I do sort of keep a check and see. I didn't think it was that much. Good Lord alive. I honestly didn't think there was that many people were looking in. Incredible, really, isn't it? Yeah. Wow. Thank you for telling me that, because I hadn't, I hadn't cottoned onto that at all. At 100,000. That's quite a lot, isn't it? Good Lord. Well, all I hope is that I make your day, that I make you smile, or make you laugh, or make you feel the day is a little bit better than what you thought it might be. Oh, do you reckon you're a celebrity? Can I have your autograph? Oh, man. What is it they say? I'm going viral. Viral or virus, one or the other. Oh, Lord. Well, I have written a poem. I don't know, what can I say about it? It's a very sad poem. Yeah, there you go. And you say Johnny Holiday. I don't want to bring the feelings of anybody down with it, but I think I would like to read it. But it makes me feel, when I was writing it, I was in tears when I was writing it, because I visualize everything I write before I write it. And then I try to put it into the right context. I don't always do that, I don't think. I don't want, like I say, I have found this a very sad poem. But again, this is something that the concept of it I've had rattling around in my head for a couple of days. And I think I am now at the stage where if I'm thinking stuff so hard as I'm thinking, I need to put it down on paper. Okay, here we go. Actually, let me put, because it's getting a little bit dark again. See if I put a light on here. And if I put my specs on. And I will see if I can read this without getting emotional. 5-year-old girl, face full of tears, comes home from school, feels it isn't right here. What has happened? Where is my mum? She looks at her father with his face so glum. Mummy's gone with the angels, is all he can say. His daughter cries, Why? Why has she gone away? She's gone with the angels to a heavenly place. Daughter shakes her head, hands cover her face. She has to come back. She won't like it there. Make them bring her home. She belongs here. Daughter looks round the room, looks by the fire. Mummy's chair she would sit when she got tired. It's empty. Mummy will sit there no more. Daughter walks to the bedroom, peeps round the door. The room is silent, the bed freshly made. No one is there. Daughter's dismayed. Looks in the dining room, at the place at the table. Mummy would sit for tea if she was able. Daughter would never realise how ill Mummy was. 5-year-olds thinking couldn't see the worst. She goes to her father, runs into his arms. They both need each other now. There we go. Daughter full of alarm. What will we do? Who will kiss me good night? I know Daddy will, but it doesn't feel right. Mummy would know if I'm happy or sad. She would know if I've had a good day or a bad. Daughter kneels by her bed. She thinks, maybe if I pray, the angels will bring Mummy back home today. Her father says, Sweetheart, they won't bring her back. She's now looking down on us, and we must think that she would want us to smile at her, wish her goodbye. He holds daughter close, wipes a tear from his eye. So father and daughter, a long road ahead. He will never forget the young girl that he wed, and daughter will miss Mummy's kiss goodnight, and the comfort from Mummy when she'd had a fright. They both will remember this very sad day. Such memories they have never completely go away. But as time moves on, these thoughts will stay dear in their hearts and their minds, and it'll always be there. But for now, there's a 5-year-old completely distraught. We hope time will heal and leave her with only happy thoughts. There you go. No. How the hell could I come up with something like that? That has been rattling around in my head for the last 2 or 3 days, especially the other night when I couldn't sleep. I was going over and what made it come into my head, I have no idea. But I do realise now that when I get this stuff in my head, I've got to write it down. It's the only way I can get it out. Very emotional. I was crying tears when I first wrote this. I could just imagine a little girl coming home from school and her mother not there. Yeah. Yeah, there's been 1 or 2 things that I have put into poetry in the past that have sort of got me very emotional, but this is the worst. What I say, the worst thing in a nice way, really. I suppose this is the worst thing. It's really got to me. But perhaps now I've written it down, it'll feel easier in my head than it has done. Well, as I say, I didn't want to bring the mood down to such a low emotional level. But again, another thing about it was the fact that I like to. It's very difficult to know sometimes what to write about, and I don't want to keep repeating myself with all of the stuff. So I don't know what the next lot will be. I've now got nothing in my head at all. It's all out down there on the paper. Yeah, can it shows you. It's just what I feel, Mario. It's just what I feel. And it's just what I can see. I have the picture in front of me, right in front of me even now. I have the picture of a little girl and her father. And what can you say to a little one of that age? How can you explain it to them? It's a very, very sad fact of life that things like this happen, and you have got to try to explain it to young ones. But you don't. I don't know. It would be very hard to find the words. Which does mean you're not. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is life, isn't it? Life, I think, can be so cruel to some people. And I think, yeah. I said to my granddaughter one day, she wasn't that, she was, yeah, she was older than 5. She was probably about 8 or 9. And I got quite a different reaction from her than I expected. I can't remember now exactly what we were doing or what we were saying. I think I was saying to her, whatever she wanted to do, be careful whatever you're doing. You'll have an angel watching over you. And it freaked her out. And I was really amazed. And I thought to myself, I tried to explain to her, this is a good being, a being that will make sure that you're safe. I don't want an angel. I don't want an angel. Take it away. Take it away. And honestly, I never expected that that reaction from her at all. Yeah. Yeah. You see, I think I was lucky myself because my parents, although my mum had me when she was in her mid-40s, I still had her for 30 years plus, so that by the time she had gone, I think I was about 30. Yeah, I was mid-30s. And then my dad, he was another 9 years before I lost him. So, that was sort of an age, wasn't it? It wasn't like you were a youngster. And, whether you're 15 or 5 or 10, you're still young. You're still young to lose a parent. And I'm wondering if this what has come out with me now is because of all the stuff I've been hearing on the news. That sort of made a bit of an impact in the stuff that's, goes around my head. You never knew your maternal grandfather. No, I never knew my father's. That's paternal grandfather, isn't it? And he was then in the First World War, 1914 to 1918. He was conscripted. And from what I've learned about him, he was not a fighter. But then at that time, you see, conscription, you had to go. And I've got letters that some other members of the family had, the original letters that he sent to his wife, which was my dad's mum. and they are very hard to read. I know I was sent, and I think I've got them here somewhere, but I found one or two not too bad, but I found one or two of them were very, very difficult to read. In fact, there was one particular one, I don't think I could finish reading it. But he was killed. He never came back. And I remember that my aunts and that were telling me that my dad was 14 years old. I'm not quite sure what ages was between the three of them, because there was the two girls and my dad. I think they were younger, but I can remember them telling me that my dad took on the thing of being the sort of like the head of the family, because he was the boy at 14 years old, and he went out to work to keep them all, together. No, hi, Four. Hi, Four. We're not talking about such a happy subject at the moment, Four. But no, so that was a grandfather that I didn't know. But then when the other war came along, my dad, he couldn't pass to go in any of the services, the army or any of it, because of his eyesight, apparently. So he became a fireman up in London and used to fight the fires after the bombing. But some of my mum's brothers, I'm not quite sure what they all did, because there was there was three brothers. I know one was in, I think it looked from the uniforms in the pictures I've seen of him, I think he was army, but he was out in the desert somewhere, wherever they were fighting out in the desert. Sometimes it would be nice. I don't know about everybody, but sometimes, I would have loved to have known more about the background of my family. But then again, I think maybe because that was a generation, just like my mum and dad and then my grandparents that went through 2 world wars, they probably didn't want to talk about it. So you can understand that in a way. I know my mum used to say that where she was, the town she was in the town where I was born, got a lot of attacks. But I would like to have known more about the family history. But you can't always get what you wish for, can you? Yeah. So there we go. No, do you know what? Ida Cross, you're here, aren't you? Do you know what's coming up on my television? I ought to be able to swing it round so you can see. They're talking about food. They're showing platefuls of food. Honestly, you can't get away from it, can you? Oh, that's okay, Ida Cross. Oh, yeah. Yes. What kind of food? Oh, it looked like there was some sort of potato stuff on there. It looked like there was some sort of tomato stuff on there. I don't know what the meat was. Now it's gone. But they were bringing up, there was a lot of bread around as well. I said the magic word, food. There you are. Soon puts a smile back on everybody's face, doesn't it? Yeah. They're talking about food. I'm not quite sure what to have for tea tonight. After those biscuits, I don't really feel like anything much. Going too fit. Oh, yikes. Oh, Ida Crass, I would like to be a fly on the wall in your house just to see what you've got in your cupboards and in your fridge and in your freezer. Honestly. Uh, oh, God. Yeah. Well, maybe I could write some poetry about food. That might be a thought. Perhaps I need to get my thinking around that. See what we can come up with. Hmm. You've got no. That would be lunch for sure. That would be nice. Yeah. Well, I've got bacon and I've got eggs, and I'm just sort of thinking to myself, do I feel like cooking? Or do I feel like shoving something in the microwave? Though I haven't got a great deal to shove in the microwave. I'm seeing bacon and eggs on a plate. Mmm. Make a toad in the hole. Oh. God, that's a thing. Toad in the hole. That reminds me of my dad. My dad, when he was on his own after my mum had gone, very, very capable man was my dad. And I used to say to him, because he sort of lived up across the way there, 16, 17 miles between us from where we lived. And he would come down to us every Saturday, drive his car and come on down. And I used to say to him, come down tomorrow for Sunday dinner. Come and, I'll cook your dinner and you go get your meals and that. Oh, no, 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 I'm all right. I'm at home. And I would always go and do his shopping for him on the Friday before he came down on the Saturday. He would phone me up on the Wednesday and give me a list of what he would like. And he never ever said toad in the hole. He used to call it, he used to say to me, I think I'll have a sausage toad today. And I used to have to get him some sausages, and he'd make the batter and stuff to put the sausages in. He was brilliant. Yeah, he was quite well cook his own, but he would never stay for a meal. Yeah. Yeah. Ah, Mario Masha, yeah. No, he liked I suppose independent. Hmm. Yeah. He wanted to eat, yeah. I can remember when my mum died. Obviously, we went up there the time that she died. We'd been up to see her because she'd been in bed ill. She'd been perfectly fine the evening before. And it was the Boxing Day. It was her birthday on the Boxing Day. And that Boxing evening, she'd gone to a little get together with some more people in the family. And they said she had a whale of a time. She was laughing and joking, and she was fine. But then she was taken ill. I think she had a heart attack. She was taken ill. She went home and went to bed. And the next day she was stuck in bed. And I was a bit thingy. I mean, they got the doctor out for her, and he said if she's not better by tomorrow, then we will take her into hospital. And at the time I wasn't. I wish I'd been there when the doctor called, because my mum was diabetic, and because she was in bed and she'd had this turn, nobody was thinking to make sure that her diabetic medicine was being given to her as best that it could be. But the doctor didn't. And when I went up to my dad after the doctor had been, I said to him, Why didn't they take her into hospital? She's diabetic. She's had a heart attack. She needs looking after better than can be done here at home. And my dad said, well, we said they'd take her into hospital tomorrow. Now I said, if I'd have been here, she'd have gone into hospital straight away. But we stayed for a bit. And then I said to him, I said, I've got to go back home, cook tea, because the kids, my children then were, I'm not quite sure how old they were then, probably about 9 or 10 or something like that. And I said, the kids need to, get food, get some tea. I went back home. We came back home, started cooking tea. I'd only just about started it when the phone goes, and that was my dad saying my mum had gone. So we shot straight back up there. And the first thing my dad said to me was, let me level this out. But I am going to stay in the same routine as I've always been in. I'm not changing anything. And I mean, he didn't. He looked after himself. The only thing, I mean, he even did his own blinking washing. The only thing he let me wash was his bedding. He used to bring his bedding down once a week. He'd bring his bedding down. He'd change his bedding. And then I'd wash what he brought, and he'd take it back the next week. Yeah. Doesn't understand him. Oh, okay, Mario. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you had one. Yeah, oh, okay. Yeah, yes, yesin. Hello, hi. We are, well, we tried to start off on a fairly light bit of conversation, but it's sort of, gone a little bit somber. But I think we're bringing ourselves back up again, even though we're still talking about people in the family that aren't with us anymore. But hopefully we can always find something to talk about, whatever it is. Hey, I've read my poem, and that's done. Honestly, looking, Mario, you were saying about the translator, it's the same with the damn, what's it, what they call it on the phone, this texting thing, when it sort of tries to judge what you're trying to text in. And some of it comes up such rubbish. Yeah. Our bananas, I'd imagine they don't grow in the UK. Do you like Worcester sauce, Granny? T9. What? Bananas are cheap here. Worcester sauce? No, I've never had it. I'm a sort of a person. I've never had certain things, and I just say I don't like that. And how do I know I don't like that? Because I've never tried it. Never tried it. I think I was brought up on a very simple diet. Again, see, going back to how things were, for a start, both my mum and my dad never come from a very affluent family. Everybody worked for what was needed. Everybody, both sides that were workers. The smartphones, what is it? Auto texting or something, isn't it? You start writing a word, and it thinks you know what you want to write, and it puts it in. And it's a darn nuisance when I'm texting somebody, and I've got to sort of go back on the word. Predictive texting, yeah, that's what I see. It's a good job I got you all here to sort me out, because I don't know what I'm talking about half the time, I don't think. But yes, predictive texting is a nightmare. And another, I expect you all can do it. I watch the grandchildren Just texting with your thumbs like that. I can't do that. I tried to do that once and I've dropped the blinking phone. Yeah, Mario. I'm not sure, Mario. No, I'm not sure on that. You may be right. But I'm just looking at those bananas behind me. They look just like them fingers on Elden Ring, don't they? Ha ha! Apart from being a different colour. I like bananas. I have ice cream and bananas every tea time. Nice. Mind you, it's a bit cold now to still have bananas. Whatever. I don't believe this. Like banana split, yeah. Very similar to like banana split. If I say the name, it's going to answer me. But my thing that you can do everything on that shows you a lot of things and you can talk to it, you know the name, don't you? It's just come up with a load of photographs of food. Do you think it's listening to us? Burgers and that it was showing me. Now it's showing me tea. Oh no, and now we've got some fireworks. I'm wondering if there are going to be any firework places. Yeah. Are you? Was it you, Ida Crass? I don't know. What am I going to do? Honestly, the blinking Orbanorics, they sneak in everywhere. God's sake. Ooh. Oh, man. Yes, so just wondering whether we're going to see. I think I was talking the other day. You have working on it. The snacks keep calling you. Yeah, they sure do. Oh, now my foot's gone. No, just going back to the fireworks and things. Of course, November the 5th is our firework date, but it came in the middle of the week. So normally when it does that, we wait till the weekend, like the Saturday night. So I'm wondering if we're going to have any fireworks around tonight. Only because, though not heard anything much about it lately, but I haven't noticed any fireworks being sold in the shops like they used to be. And I'm wondering if they have stopped that, because you don't know half the time what this darn government is doing. But I like the idea when we do it with what we call the bonfire night on a weekend. It's controlled, and because people have got hurt in the past with it. Yeah, you're looking up for a good Victoria sandwich. Nice Victoria sandwich. Have you ever made? Now, I know I have got the recipe somewhere. I was looking through a load of old stuff the other day and I saw it and I just chucked it back in the box. I didn't think to keep it. And I think I said about this a few days back. I used to make a boiled cake. And I can remember I used to do it in a saucepan. But then I must have had to have tipped it out. It was instead of having the dry ingredients and mixing them all up in a bowl, I used to put all the ingredients in a saucepan. But I must have had to have tipped it out into a tin and put it in the oven to cook properly. How do I make a Victorian sandwich? Flour, eggs, butter. Butter and eggs. Mash them all up, stir them all round until they're gooey. Gradually add the flour. Baking powder? Some people put baking powder, I think. to make it rise a bit, but you don't really have a very highly risen Victoria sponge, do you? Yeah. You want the batter to be thick. Yeah. So that's why you add flour a bit at a time. You don't just bung it all in. Keep stirring. Put the flour in bit by bit until it's a mixture that will it hold on the spoon, or it hasn't got to be running off the spoon. It's got to hold on the spoon if you put a spoonful. Then it's jam and cream in the middle of it. What do you do? You do two like that. Jam and cream in the middle and stick the two together. Yes, yes, yes. What does anybody have, talking about food? Mushed peas. God, I haven't had mushed peas for ages. I tell you what I do, if we have sort of peas. My husband likes chickpeas, so just because he likes them, I'm not all that keen. We usually have chickpeas if we have any sort of pea thing. But he's a great, he like any vegetable. He likes cabbage. He loves cabbage. People just chuck them in and heat them up. Just the chickpeas. Just get a tin, open the tin, put it in a bowl, stick it in the microwave, heat them up. That's it. We're not fancy here at all. The easiest and quickest way to do anything gets done here. Yeah. Mainly because I haven't got the facilities here much now. I mean, I suppose you can see just behind me, just that little bit. That's when we came here, first of all, and we looked it over. And then we had to get somebody in to do, to repair everything. This place had been abandoned for quite a long time. And the only way you could get in here was by the window there, outside, was a big iron staircase. And you come up, and then behind the door here, where is now our bathroom, there used to be a door to the top of the staircase that came into like a little square lobby. And then there was a little squashed up bathroom behind that. Well, we took all that away and sealed up the wall, put a window there instead of the door, and made a bigger bathroom. And when we came looking, hey, Charlie, hello, Charlie. When we came looking at this, first of all, looking around to see, to buy it, it was raining. And we came through to get to here, then we had to sort of come through the shop way. And we came out the back door here, and there was about a good 6 inches of water, flooded all out on the backyard. And we came up the stairs to look inside here, and where that door is now, there was water coming through the roof like a waterfall. And it was packed out with pigeons and birds as well, because they'd come in and made themselves at home over the years. And you would more or less, what you would say, this was like a derelict building. So we've done quite a lot to it. Well, we were lucky in a way because my son is a builder, and he did all of this. He put the windows in for us. He built the wall here along to put the door in here and make the bathroom behind us here. But I remember when I came and we were looking around it, this was going to be the bedroom. And I thought, see where our kitchen is in that little sort of alcove place there, that was going to be my walk-in wardrobe. And I had it all planned out. But then when we actually, then by the time the place was finished and all the building work and that had been done on it, we came in a couple of, 2 or 3 times we came in. In one particular time, it was sort of fairly sort of mid to late evening. And the place next door, which is now a restaurant where we go for our Sunday lunch, that was a pub. And the noise from the pub was tremendous. So we thought, we can't have this as our bedroom, because it was too noisy, because the pub would go on 11:30. And bearing in mind, you know, we didn't always go to, and I still don't go to bed that early, but my husband, he goes to bed. Sometimes he goes to bed quite early. So we thought, we can't have this as a bedroom. It's much too noisy. Yeah, and so the room next door, which was going to be the front room, we had to change them around. My son, yes, he's got his own business. He's been a builder since he left school. I remember he came home. You've beaten Gundry my first try. You're doing well. Way, you're doing well, Charlie. Charlie, you're doing well. Yeah, my son is... I don't know if they still do it now, but of course, when him and his daughter went to school, his sister, him and his sister went to school, they used to do day release jobs for the pupils that were set to leave school, to see what they wanted to do. And my son, I knew that this particular day he was going to go with another chappie who was a builder. And there was a big estate being built up across the way. Anyway, I never forget the day my son came home. And he come through our front door and he stood in the hall. And he knew he didn't have to go any further because he was mud up to his knees. I've never seen a child in such a state. And he knew he didn't dare walk any further without taking it all off right there. But he stood there and he goes, "Mum, I know what I want to do when I leave school. I want to be a builder." And at the time, my dad was still alive. And my dad had been a builder since he was 14 years old, since his father had died. And my dad said to me, he said, "Get him out of that idea. Don't let him do that. That is a terrible job. You're working out in all winds and weathers, all times, all in the winter, and he said, don't let him do that." And he was so adamant. But my son was adamant as well that that's what he wanted to do. And yeah, he's had his own business now for many years. Yeah. He was plenty of work on as well. Yeah. He built he lives outside of Yeovil. We don't see him very often now. He built himself a lovely, lovely house. Bought a piece of land that was absolutely, again, derelict, had to be cleared out from trees and bushes and shrubbery and all sorts of rubbish. Got it all cleared out, built himself a lovely house there, which is what he's living in at the moment. He was going to put it up for sale, but while it was being put up for sale, he was having to still have bills to pay on it, like council tax and stuff like that. So he decided to rent out his other house that he was living in and move into the house he built. And he's living there now still. Because he said, if I'm paying for it, I might as well go and live in it. Great, lovely house he's built. And he's just like his granddad, my dad, just like him. And he has since bought another plot of land a little way up the road from where he is. And he's building a bungalow on it for him and daughter-in-law for their retirement. Because he's... my son he's 56, So I don't know whether he's thinking to retire early. He might do, because he works like stink. He's just like his dad. They don't think of nothing but working. But I think it's a bit of a pattern all the way through our family, because my dad was the same. And he is just like my dad. He's practically the spitting image of him. But yeah, and I mean, he's learnt the trade, and he's learnt it well. He was very lucky, I think, that the man that took him on his day release from the school taught him well. But and then my grandson, my son's son, he's doing the same thing. He hasn't got, I don't think he's got his own business yet, but he's on a self-employed thing where he will work with whatever my son has got going. You know, if he needs a worker for somewhere else, then grandson will go over and take that job on. So it sounds like, you know, they're both going to be doing it. But other than that, I don't know if it's going to stop there, because grandson, he's got a girlfriend, but he's not married as yet. I don't know whether he will get married or not. He doesn't seem to be in a hurry to do so. And his sister, she's the one that's just had the little girl, making us great-grandparents. So there's only girls on that side so far. So I don't know if there's no more boys going to come along who might be interested in building. It might stop there with the family. I've no idea. But they are, freelance contracting. Yes, that's what it is. He's freelance contracting. And he is just, he was going to, he found a bungalow. It was a really big place to be a bungalow, and he was going to have that. And I don't know why he decided against. And the last I heard, because I don't see them very often, last I heard he found a house, and that was having to be done up. See, this is the thing, when you know all this stuff, when you're in the building, you can buy property so much cheaper, do it up yourself. It's so good to be able to do that. Yeah. So as far as I know, they're all getting on. Like I say, I don't see them much. But my son, I used to get cross with him. Does he ever fix them up and sell them? He hasn't done so yet. My son is renting out the first house he had. The first house my son bought was in good condition, but he put a lot of extra rooms onto it, because it had a lot of garden out the back, and he extended it out. In the end, it was like a blinking hotel. But of course, at that particular time, his children were still youngish, so they each needed a bedroom. Then each needed their own computer room, and then they had a television room, and it was all that sort of stuff. And I tell you, when my son gets going, he goes the whole lot. He doesn't stop halfway. And he rents that out now, and lives in the other house he's built. And then I think this house he's living in now, I'm hoping, or I'm presuming, that he will probably sell that if he can. And him and his wife will go and live in their little retirement bungalow. Hey, thanks, Mario, for coming along. Thank you. Take care. Have a nice weekend. And we'll be starting off again on Monday. I'm just looking behind me. I can just see. Are you wondering, we got that blinking great bucket up there? That's because the roof is leaking. But it's not leaking now. But you never know if it's going to rain. We're in a state, we are. I need my son over here, but I'm not sure about that. He's not, that one thing, he's not really a roofer. He will build a roof, beams and rafters and wooden bits and goodness knows what. But when it comes to putting anything on it, he will get somebody else to do that. Better safe than sorry. Yeah. Oh, the toilet seat. You got to be so careful with that toilet seat. It's like a bloody alligator with its mouth open. And smack down on you. It's still beating up your back. Oh, God's sake. Honestly. The worst thing is, isn't it, if you put it up and then you sort of turn around, you're going to sit down and the blasted thing's already down. And, well, I'll leave the rest to your imagination. Honestly. Yes, it's okay as long as it's sort of a bit skewy. It won't be straight on. It's a bit skewy. It's to the side like that. And if it's like that, then the seat will stay up all right. So I don't know what's happened with it. Yeah. It is just like a game. Oh, gosh. It's funny because, again, program I was listening to, it was a quiz show, actually, I was listening to last night on the television, right? And of course, when this person comes up to answer the questions, you see the person answering the questions, he says to him, where'd you come from? What do you do? And this chap goes, oh, I invent games. So the chap, oh, do you? You know, what sort of games you invent then? So this bloke says, well, he goes, the last game I invented was a game around a toilet. And everybody, a what? And he's made this game, and he was explaining how it worked. And I'm thinking to myself, well, yes or no, I'm not quite sure. But that's weird, talking about toilets, and that comes up. Yeah. But it's the same with everything in this place. Everything's skewy. Nothing is, honestly. Never used to live like this in this muck. It's only because we haven't got enough room. We're trying to jam everything into one room. It don't work. Hey. Oh, what am I the other day? Yeah. I think, did I say, I think I said to you, now tonight I think it's on. Where's my, here we go. Let's have a look. Saturday. And all these blinking things they put in. My favourite quiz show. 8 o'clock, the 1% Club. I think I'm explaining the 1% Club the other day on here. This is like a Mensa type club. I don't know how else to explain it. I mean, one of the questions the other day, it's the only one I can think of, they put 2 pictures up and they said, what rhymes with this picture? What person's name rhymes with this picture? And there was a star on the one picture and there was a llama on the other picture. And I immediately said Starmer. A star and a llama rhymes. Starmer lies with star llama. It's that sort of thing. Is there a US version of the game? Yeah. Sometimes I can get along with it quite well. I can usually get along to about the 30 or 20% question, but I was really cross with myself last week. I fell down on the blinking 40% question, and it was so darn easy. The only thing with it here is, for me, they don't put it up on the screen long enough. Sometimes if you've got a big long question to read, and then, got to put the answer to it. Sometimes by the time I've read the question, the time is nearly off. So sometimes I just make a stab at the answer to, It takes you some time to thingy up with it, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. Looks like I've got to put some lights on here now and I've got to go. So, thank you, people, for coming along. But it looks like the day has ended. And Thanks, Ida Crass. And whatever you're having for tea tonight or lunch today, I hope it's nice and you enjoy it. You have been amazing. And I will sure, we'll see if I can find something else to chat about. We can usually find something, can't we? So for now, I will disappear. Have a nice weekend, everyone. I'll be back on Monday, hopefully. Yeah, keep on being better. You look after yourselves. Okie doke. Let's turn. There we go. See you all again.